Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will continue with our unit which is titled Wishful Thinking. Our lesson today is the form, meaning and function lesson in your books, page 56 and 57. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 56 and 57, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to differentiate between count nouns and non-count nouns. Also, you will be able to use the quantifiers some, any, and no in sentences. You will be able to complete a conversation using words connected with money, shopping habits, and prices. Ready? Let's get started with these. At the beginning, I want you to look into this picture and come up with the following. Can you come up with, you name some singular nouns? One, singular. I can think about one egg, one carrot, one strawberry, one tomato, and one onion. How about the plural? Can you name some plural nouns? More than one. I can think about eggs. We're having here a set of eggs. We're having mushrooms, also carrots. I can think about strawberries, tomatoes, 3 tomatoes, and three onions. How about if we're going to the nouns themselves? How about non-count nouns? Nouns that I can't count. I can't say 1, 2, or number. I can think about cheese, bread, oil, and salt. These are non-count. You can't give a number. How about the count ones? If we're speaking about here the count nouns, I will speak about egg, eggs, shrimp, shrimps, avocado, avocados. We're having carrot and carrots, strawberry and strawberries. So one or more than one, these are the count nouns. So nouns in English are actually of 2 types. They are the count and the non-count nouns. Something I can give a number, another one it is mass. Maybe you can't see it or you can't hold it. If we're speaking about the count nouns, what are count nouns? Count nouns are people, places, and things that can be counted. So I can say book, books. I can say chair, chairs, and I can say people and person, one person and people. How about the non-count nouns? Something I can't count. None for negative, none. They are items, qualities, concepts that can't be counted. Something that you can't say that this is one. Just like love. You can say love, not a and not loves. Also, money. We can speak about water, liquid, and we can speak about rain. Anything that consists of a powder, tiny pieces, or its mass or a feeling, you can never count it. So non-count. What is the difference between the count and the non-count nouns? In your books, page 56. Count nouns name things that you can count. I can say one. This is one pen, or this is one board. So 1 Saudi riyal, 2 Saudi riyals. I can tell 1 or 2. I can hold it. They have singular and plural. This is the singular, 1, and this is the plural, riyals, more than 1. Singular count nouns like a coin, a wish, a prize. And the plural nouns of these, we're having 2 coins, 3 wishes, and 4 prizes. You can give a number. How about the non-count nouns? Non-count nouns name things that you can't count. Maybe mass, liquid, or powder. Like money, news, information, advice, rice, and tea. I can't tell whether it is 1 or 2. I can count the cups. I can't count the spoons, however, not the item itself. They do not use a or an, and they do not use the plural form. So it is tea, not a tea. It is tea, not teas. Okay, now, so we can summarize that count nouns are like apple. So they have singular, like apple, and apples, plural. I can use them with a or an apple, or plural, I can say apples, and we can use the article the apple and the apples. The can be used with one and with more than one. How about the non-count nouns? An example is coffee. Coffee, not the cup, we're speaking about the drink. Coffee is non-count noun. It has only one form. It is coffee, not a, not coffees. Also, you can never use s with them. It's always coffee. And you can use the with. So you can tell that the is an article that is friendly. It can go with count, non-count, singular, plural nouns. Comes with everything. However, the a and an comes only with the count nouns in a singular form. Okay, now in your books, page 56, here, read a description of a city and circle the nouns. Let's choose the nouns in here. Here, let's start with them one by one. My family moved to this city when I was 10 years old. However, I don't like living here and I wish we would move. There are too much traffic. Here, we're having traffic is a noun, a non-count noun. And air pollution. Pollution is a noun as well. There is a lot of garbage. We've got garbage here on the street. There are no recycling facilities. And there isn't anywhere to play sport either. I suppose there is some good public transportation. Transportation is a noun, but there isn't any subway system. Speaking about the subway system. These nouns, some of them are count, others are non-count. I wanted to check a word that comes before each one of these. What do we have? Before traffic, we have much. Before garbage, we're having a lot of. Before the recycling facilities, I've got no. And before the transportation, I've got some. Subway system, we're having any. I believe that you are familiar with these. What are these actually? These which we call them the quantifiers. What are quantifiers? Quantifiers are actually words that we can use with both the count and the non-count nouns. They are actually to measure how much or how many do we have. Quantifiers, they express the amount, but it is actually not exact, but everybody understands it. So if I tell you there are a lot of students in the class, I'm not giving you a number, but I'm telling you about the amount. You're telling me it is in here, not below, above. If I'm telling you there were a few students in the classroom, how many students? Are they 10? Maybe 10, a few. And maybe we can say 1, a few. So the exact number is not mentioned. However, everyone is familiar with the idea. It is about the amount, whether we're having more or less. We're telling more or less. Quantifiers are like a and an, some and any. We're having much, many, a lot, lots of, a little and a few, and we're having how much and how many. These are quantifiers to tell about the amount, however, not very exact. So we're having the count and the non-count nouns. Which one the quantifiers, which one would go with the count and which one would go with the non-count? With the count noun, I can use many. However, much, we will have it with a non-count. Many students, much water. A few students, and few students. I can say a little water, little time. A number, if I want to give the number, I will with the count noun, a number, a good number, or a great deal. You can't be specific with the non-count, so I will say a great deal. Some other quantifiers can be used with both the count and the non-count nouns, like some water, some eggs, any eggs, any water. I can say no, which means not any, and a lot, and lots of. So some of them will go with the count, others will go with the non-count, and some of them can be used with both the count and the non-count nouns. Let's try to come up into here. The nouns are of two types, the count and the non-count. We will focus on some, which can be used with both the count and the non-count nouns. So I can say some schools. And notice that with some, we use it with a count noun in the plural form. Non-count, I can use some transports. It is a non-count noun. Any, I can use it with both the count and the non-count nouns. However, here we will use it with any place and any space. No can be used with both the count and the non-count, so no libraries, no facility. But we have to differentiate between each one of these. So the quantifiers, some can be used with affirmative sentence. What is an affirmative sentence? It is a sentence that consists of a subject, verb, and object. We don't have negative, and it is not a question. So I can tell, there are some houses. I can use it with the count noun in the plural form, and it is an affirmative sentence. Any can be used with both the question and the negative. So I can say, are there any libraries? Notice the S, count noun in the plural form, any, and it is a question. And I can use it with the negative. I will say, there is not any libraries. So S, and I am having not. I can use it with no. No, I can use it in affirmative sentences like, there are no libraries. There is no library in this place. So I can use it with both the count and the non-count nouns. So let's compare some, any, and no. We use some in affirmative statements. A statement that is affirmative, it tells you that something is happening. We use any in negative as well as in questions. And we use some and any with non-count and plural count nouns. So water and students. So in a question, we're having, is there any pollution? Then, are there any sport facilities? Notice these are questions. That's why we've got any. In a question, we will use any. In the affirmative, I will use, there is some pollution and there are some sport facilities. With the non-count and the count noun, I have used some because it is a sentence in the affirmative sentence. Negative, I will use, there isn't any pollution, there aren't any sport facilities. Negative, negative, and I will use any. I will use any in here. Okay, so these they are. How about no? If I want to use no, it can be used with both the non-count and the count, which is a plural noun. In affirmative sentence, what is the difference between this one and any, or the difference between this one and some actually? This one gives you a negative meaning. There is no library. Negative meaning. So the meaning is negative. However, the sentence is affirmative. So there is no crime equal there isn't any crime. There is no recycling facilities equals there aren't any recycling facilities. So it means not any. So if we want to summarize things up in this Venn diagram, the count and the non-count nouns, I can use many with count nouns, much with the non-count nouns. I can use a few with the count nouns, a little with the non-count. However, both of them we will use some, count and non-count, any with both the count and the non-count, and no with both the count and the non-count nouns. Let's try to do this exercise in your book's page 115. Based on the sentence, you will choose some, any, or many, and you can use a or an. Riyadh is a shopper's dream because here we're having the sh sound, so you will use a. And boosts of the world's most beautiful modern shopping malls. Count. Malls, count noun. So I will use many. Not much, many. With designer boutiques and many brand names. There aren't, notice the negative, what can I use? There aren't bargains to be found in the supermarket malls. Any, so I will use any bargains. But if you head for the traditional souks in town, you will find many bargains. Notice that we have used many because this one is a count noun. Haraj is second-hand market. We can say it is one second-hand market just east of the city. Al-Batha district is home to traditional market to some. Notice market is a count noun, plural count noun. I will say some, not any, because this one is an affirmative sentence. Okay, how about the word classes? When we're using the word classes, it means that I am having actually a word that subordinate of these, we will have other words. Let's speak about the idea of color. If I'm saying the class is color, underneath that one I will have red, blue, brown, black, and others. The class is animal. Underneath that one I will have examples like a lion, elephant, cat, mouse, and others. So the word class is the big word that underneath that word I will have many other examples. So word classes, we're having items. If we're speaking about the idea of shopping and others, items like I can say hat, dress, shirt, t-shirt. You can speak about short, skirt, bag, and and we're having bags. These are items, clothing, okay? Any one of these would work. So if I will ask you, what does it belong to? You will see these are actually items that I can buy. Next, we're having a material. Let's look into this dress. What material is it made of? It is made of, I can say, silk material, cotton, or we can say that it is 50% polyester. It is a material, the fiber itself. So we're having silk, cotton, and polyester. Each one is a different word for the same group, which is material. Let's still speaking about this dress. How about the size? Can you come up with any word that is related to size? We can speak about medium, and we can speak about 40, small, large, size 23, size 30, whatever the size at. Then we're speaking about the price. What words can you think about underneath the word price? I can think about expensive. This dress is expensive. It's cheap. Also, I can think about 500 riyals. And I can think about 20% discount. All of these words are about the idea of price. In your book's page 57, we're having here a long list of, we're having word classes, and underneath each one we're having words. So items, we're having a sweater, pants, thobe, sandals, we're having a bracelet, dress, and shoes. How about the material? I can think about wool. I can think about 50% cotton and 50% polyester. I can think about cotton, 100% cotton, or leather. How about size? Maybe you can speak about size. You can say small, it is medium, or you can think about large. How about prices? How much it is? We can say 30 to 09 Saudi riyals. I can think about 150 Saudi riyals, and I can think about $125. Price, whatever that comes into here, 720 is the price in here. And you can even think about the idea of having a discount. discount or a sale. Okay, now I want you here to choose the odd word. What do we mean by odd? A word that is totally different. If I will say a cat, green, blue, and red. So cat is different. It doesn't belong to the same group. So if we're speaking about material, wool, silk, cheap, and cotton, which word is different? So in here, cheap is about the price, so it is different. How about if I'm speaking about items? Which one is not an item? Dress, silk, sweater, and shoes. We're having silk is actually a material. It is not an item. Okay? Now in your books, page 57, read the conversation in a shop, complete with a bold vocabulary word from the chart. The chart that you've got already on page 57, you will choose the words from there. We're having a conversation between a man and a shop assistant. Can I help you, sir? The man said, yes, please. I am for a sweater for my nephew. So, I am looking for a sweater for my nephew. The shop assistant replied, what is he? What size is he? And he would answer, he is small, size small. Maybe he would say his size 30, his size maybe 40. Shop assistant would say, okay, we have a blue and red one in that side. How are they? How much are they? We're speaking about the price. The blue sweater is made from 100% material, wool, and it is 130 Saudi riyals. The red one is made from wool and cotton. We have a 20 reduction, so it will be discount on the red one. It is now on 58. It is now on 58 Saudi riyals. Let's continue in here. The man said, great, my nephew prefers red, so I will take the red one. Would you like to pay in cash or buy the other one by credit card? He would answer, the man would say, I'd like to pay cash, please. So in here, it's about the idea of preference, whether it's a size or it's an item. Let's do the same thing on page 116. We're having these options: to buy, spend, shop online, expensive, make payment, money, and habit. An interviewer is making an interview with Faisal. I am from Teenage Express magazine. We're doing a survey on teenage shopping. Then we can use habits. What do they do? How do they spend their money? Do you mind answering some questions? Faisal answers, not at all. So he's going to answer, what do you want to know? Do you? Then he answered, no, I never shop online. Do you shop online? No, I never shop online. The interviewer asked, why not? Why don't you shop online? He replied, I don't trust the security feature on the internet. What about your friends? Very few shop online. Notice the few here because we're speaking about people. Few shop online or via the computer. Make payment, buy or pay through computer. And do you like to designer clothes? Then he said, not really. I like clothes. So the answer here, I don't like to buy designer clothes. I like clothes that are not too, about the price, expensive, and that are comfortable. Continue. And in general, what do you most for your money on? What do you do with the money? Spend most of your money on. Faisal said, here's the answer. I spend my money mostly on food, video games, and electronic stuff. I spend my money on these or those. Okay, so based on what you've got, you can fill out in these blanks. For your homework, I want you to think about a TV game show. And here, think about a game show. Give a name for that game show and what are the game rules? What do the participants or those people who will play within this game, what do they do? Are they going to answer questions or they will do certain actions? I guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.